Welcome to MeDAP Medical Software Training, Part 5. In this tutorial, we are going to take a look at payments per visit within registration form. First, go to the patient registration form. Find the patient files. Once you are in the patient's file, you will see at the bottom of the patient's file all the visits. Over here, you will see that there are no payments done on the patient's file. To do the payment, click on this button over here. The payment per visit will show all the visits in this list. The list will show the last visit at the top and the oldest visit will be at the bottom. Now let's say for instance, the medical aid has paid this outstanding visit and they have paid in full. You can click on full payment. The amount will put in a payment received field, and then you can change the payment date to the date it was actually paid. So let's say it was paid on this date and it was done by the medical aid. And if you need to, you can also put a reference number of the remittance advice in this field. Let's say the next payment was also done, but the medical aid has only paid a part of the visit. For instance, they only paid 800 Rand, and the difference needs to be marked as patient liable, and in this case the liable part is 11 Rand and 79 cents. Let's change the date again. Let's say it was also done on the same date and it was also by the medical aid and the reference number is exactly the same. Now in this case, if we need to mark the difference to be paid by the patient, then mark this field here as patient liable. The program will then indicate automatically on the statement that the patient needs to pay the difference of this visit. On the patient statement, the payment will be put in over there and the liable part will be put at the bottom. Let's say for instance, the patient has now paid an extra amount on this outstanding one. To do an extra payment on a specific visit, go to the bottom empty line. Click on the line, select the actual visit. In this case, the visit is that number. Then select the number and add the additional payment. In this case, just remember to mark this part as the patient who has paid, and also mark this as patient liable because the outstanding amount is still patient liable. Now let's say the patient has settled this amount at the same time. Click over here, select the actual visit, then put in this amount, type it in over here, and the amount will show 0. And then you can change this to payment patient. Also remember to remove the liable part over here. Another thing that is worth showing, the program by default will archive visits that have been fully paid. It will show it on the statement for a period of time. By default, it would be 30 days. Now let's close this screen. If we look over here, those payments that has been paid are not part of the current visits, but it will now show up in the archived visits. Now let's say for instance, the patient came to settle the difference of the outstanding amount for this specific visit. Then we go here again, select the same visit, type in the amount, and we show that the patient has paid the difference. And remember to change this and remove the patient liable part. Once again, when we close the screen, it will automatically be archived. If you need to remove a payment that was accidentally added or a mistake was made, for instance, you need to remove this full payment. There are two methods of removing a payment. You can click here at this little checkbox and it will ask you, are you sure you want to remove this payment? And then you say yes, and that payment will be removed from this list. The other method is to click in the margin over here and then press the delete button on your keyboard, and it will also remove the payment. But it will be stored in the event log.